Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's session. Today, we're going to be talking about female initiations and rituals around initiations. So, a couple of years ago, I was in Brazil. So, this was maybe before COVID, so 5 years ago, around this time. I somehow ended up in the Amazon region in Leticia in Colombia, stuck between Brazil and Colombia. And for whatever reason, I planned my trip really, really badly, and I ended up spending 5 weeks there. And it was incredible, the stories I've heard there. And there is a book, it's called Wild, but I forgot who is the writer, but she also describes like ayahuasca journeys and this whole energy. And also she talked a lot about female initiations in her book. And I read this book maybe 8 to 10 years ago. And when I was in that Amazon region, I was hearing about how the girls, when they start menstruating, it doesn't matter what age, but they get sent away to the upper part of the house. There is a two-story house, basically. Sorry, there is kind of like a hanging area in their hats, and the girls you get sent there for 3 months, and they're not allowed to see anybody. They don't allow to shower, wash themselves. They're just sitting there for 3 months, and they get food, of course, but basically they're just sent away. And when the girls come out after 3 months, they do a ceremony where all the women dance around them and they rip out all their hair. And it really kind of like struck a chord with me. And after this 5 weeks, I traveled to Brazil, and immediately on the next day, I had an ayahuasca journey, 2 day retreat. And in that 2 day retreat, the visions that I was having was a lot about violence and violent initiations into the womanhood. And I realized for me, I stopped evolving somewhere at the age of 16, evolving in a sense of like, I still saw myself as a girl, even though I was already in my 30s. I saw myself still like as a girl, and I was refusing to grow up because in the past, as soon as the girls started menstruating, and in India, often even if they were 8 years old, they immediately got married off. So basically, childhood, immediately married off, marriage, and then by the age of 9, 10, they were already pregnant. And so I realized in my visions, I was seeing a lot of violence in or violent initiation in a womanhood. Basically, for guys, it's like, okay, go, stuff your hand into a beehive, let yourself be bitten by the bees. Now you're a man, or go kill a tiger. For women, it was all often very, very violent, very, very abrupt. And this transition from childhood to womanhood. So I basically put brakes on an energetic level for myself, and I was refusing to become a woman. And often women that do ayahuasca, also in that book, that she was describing how in the visions, in the healing process, the person themselves, so woman themselves, herself gives birth to herself, to the next version. In my journey, I was refusing to become a woman. And if you have done ayahuasca before, you will know that you gotta flow with it. If you refuse, it's gonna be more painful in the process. And I knew that because it wasn't my first time. And I knew it. And I dragged it out for a long, long time. It was a real, real battle because I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And eventually there was that part where I felt like I was giving birth to myself. I gave birth to the young woman that I should have become probably when I was like 16, 17, 18, but I didn't. So I kind of like got stuck in that kind of like teenage attitude. That is why even in my conversation with myself, I was referring to myself as a girl. I wasn't seeing myself as a woman. And I have clients that I work with, male clients that are looking for love, and I noticed in their conversation, they always say, I'm looking for a girl. I'm looking for a girl. I'm looking for a girl. I'm like, if you're looking for a girl, you're going to get a girl, a woman that has not quite ripened, has not quite grown into the womanhood. So I need to educate them around their language. Are you looking for a girl, or are you looking for a woman? And that is why we would work on, okay, say lady or say woman or say, but don't use the word girl, because then you will attract. And more often than not, when I work with women, I can see it where there are breaking points in their development. And even if the woman is 70 years old, I can see, okay, somehow something happened to them when they were 6, when they were 12, when they were 15. And these are the breaking points where certain evolution in the personality was inhibited. Okay, and just to kind of like share this with you to set the stage, this is something that we want to work on. It's not going to be initiating you into the womanhood, but it's going to be, perhaps I'm going to do a second event to this in a couple of weeks or months, and then we can look at the next part of it. But today I want to really tap into that energy and see where we were traumatized in the past, in the way we were initiated into the womanhood, and where we put brakes perhaps on our evolution, and where we got stuck. Okay? If you have any comments, questions, drop them in chat. Hopefully I'll see them, because last time I couldn't see them. And I'm gonna share my slides. As always, make yourself as comfortable as you need to. Okay, how do you expand this? Okay, here. Make yourself as comfortable as you need to. Put your awareness at the center of your heart. There is nothing you need to do. There is nowhere you need to go. Just allow yourself to be fully present in the here and the now. Put your awareness somewhere 300 feet above your crown. Tap into the love and light. 300 feet above your crown. What would it take for you to always be connected to the source? And what would it take for creative all that is to activate the original blueprint for your brand, your type of womanhood that is available to you in this lifetime? Again, the soul doesn't have a gender. The soul is a divine hermaphrodite. But since we've chosen a certain gender, in this case, a female gender, with some of our with karma abuse, just creative all that is, to imprint our consciousness, our awareness with the divine intended blueprint for the womanhood. Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete this story and create. This energy is coming down on your crown, clearing up your crown. Everywhere society has imprinted on you what expectations for women, programming for women, delete this story anchored. What would it take? What would it take for you to shift your frequency, shift your vibration, increase your frequency, raise your frequency to the next level available to you? And what would it take for your consciousness, your awareness to be infused with the information, the way creative all that is, intended for the womanhood to be? Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete, destroy, and create. What kind of frequency, what kind of vibration, what kind of energy would you need to bring in to live up to that ideal, to live up to that blueprint? Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete, destroy, and create. This energy is coming into your forehead. Everywhere you're not able to see, perceive, sense the kind of woman you envision yourself to be. What do you think can you do as a woman that you could not do, would not be able to do as a man? What kind of opportunities, chances does this experience in this body allow you? Everything that's standing on the way. May some of you with karma abuse just create a all of this to run pre-programmed soul energy through your subconscious, instructing your subconscious to diagnose, to see what is really holding you back from stepping into your divine female blueprint. May your subconsciousness be instructed, guided by you, the soul, to come up with a treatment plan, to get all the buy-ins of all the stakeholders in your consciousness, be it the inner child, be it your physical body, different parts of you, and begin the treatment. Upgrading your energetic field, expanding, clearing out everything that's standing on the way. And may some of your karma abuse just create a folder to run pre-programmed soul energy, instructing the subconscious to bring up to the surface all the shock, trauma, violence stored in your body, your DNA, your cells, from all the times where you or your ancestors or the cells out of which your body is made. We recycle cells, right? We recycle. We go back to dust, back to earth, and out of earth, new bodies are created, food is created. So wherever in your cellular memory there is shock, trauma, violence that is stopping, holding you back from aligning yourself with the divine blueprint for womanhood. Delete, destroy, and instruct. Use this pre-programmed soul energy to instruct your subconscious to start doing the work, upgrading your energetic makeup. This energy is going into your ajna, clearing out your ajna of all the preconceived ideas, all the judgments, all the programmings about women, what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do. Everywhere you were forced to grow up too early, often when in child, when children lose their mothers, for instance, they often step into, or parents, just anybody, they often are forced to grow up and even step into the vacant role. But also when children become sexually active too early. Like average age in Germany is 13 years for girls, very young. I was still playing with Barbies when I was 13. So everywhere. You've grown up too fast, before you were ready, everywhere shock, trauma, everywhere there were some incidents. Delete, destroy, uncreate. May some of you get karma abuse. Just scan your past, present, future, your timeline in this life. And may some of you get karma abuse. Just create all of this to bring up to the surface all the incidents in your life that force you to mature too early. May some of you get karma abuse. Just scan your past, present, future. Bring it all up. Delete, destroy, uncreate. Delete, destroy, uncreate. Delete, destroy, uncreate. May some of you get karma abuse. Just scan your past, present, future for all the ceremonies, all the rituals that had occurred everywhere. Magic was used, spells were used, just to somehow hasten your process. Everywhere you were locked, everywhere you got traumatized. Delete, destroy, uncreate. This energy is coming into your throat. Everywhere you didn't have a say in your womanhood, and when you transition from a child to a woman, like often children get married off when they were like 8, 10, 12, 16, before they were ready. And often the parents made that choice for them, and they didn't have a choice. They were forced into marrying someone. So everywhere there is that energy in your throat where you didn't have a say in it. Somebody else decided for you, now you were a woman, and now it's time to marry. And you never had a chance to really be a young woman. A young woman in the sense of like no house, no husband, no responsibilities, just living for yourself. We are probably the first generation. That's why more and more women, they choose to marry when they're 40 plus, because they really want to have those 20, 25 years where they can just be a young woman and nothing else, no responsibility, freedom. So what would it take? What would it take? What would it take for you to give yourself permission to choose where you want to be? Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing. May some of you get karma abuse, just scan the entire universe, your past, present, future, for all the patriarchal energy. Everywhere you're still plugged into that, where men get to decide. Like I had an argument when I was in Greece. I had an argument with someone about abortion. I'm like, no man, no white man, no old man, no man should have any say in abortion. That's just my stand. I think it should be a woman's decision, women's decision in the first place. And second, it should be on the individual's basis, a woman's decision. But no man should have any right to tell a woman what to do with her body and with motherhood and with having children. So everywhere we're still plugged into that energy where men get to decide for us. May some of our karma abuse to scan the entire universe, and may some of our karma abuse to energetically communicate to all these men that we're taking back all our power. We get to decide how we live out our sexuality. We get to decide how we live out our womanhood. We get to decide how to live out our motherhood. So everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, delete, destroy, and create. May some of our karma abuse to energetically communicate to the entire universe that we are no longer available to allow any man to have a say in what we do in our physical experience as women. Delete, destroy, and create. Delete, destroy, and create. Delete, destroy, and create. Times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. And some of our with karma abuse, just create a folder that is to run pre-programmed soul energy through all this parental control, patriarchal, matriarchal manipulation, control. And with some of our with karma abuse, just create a folder that is to run pre-programmed soul energy through our subconscious, instructing the subconscious to work on this energy, shifting out everything that's holding us back, everything that's controlling us, everything that's interfering with our unique, individual, personal life expression. Times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. Delete, destroy, and create. Delete, destroy, and create. Delete, destroy, and create. This energy is coming into the heart, everywhere there is heartache, from all the times when people that supposedly are the closest to us, because often this is propagated by mothers, by grandmothers, by fathers, grandfathers, by the family, people closest to us. This whole, what's still happening in Africa with the vaginal mutilation, it's often perpetrated by women on women. So everywhere there is trauma, shock from all the times when this was happening to us, when we experienced that. Delete, destroy, and create. Times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. In some cultures, societies, I was reading in that book, she was saying that when a woman got married, often all the men in the village slept with that woman first, purging the negative, evil energies, because when she was a virgin, so the husband shouldn't be exposed to that energy. I mean, it sounds insane, but this is probably still happening somewhere in the world. And who knows if this has not happened to us in the past. So everywhere we were humiliated. Everywhere we were put through violence, humiliation. abandonment as we were growing up. Delete, destroy, uncreate times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete, destroy, uncreate. May some of your good karma abuse just create a fall that is to run pre-programmed soul energy through your cellular memory and deactivate from your cellular memory all the experiences, leftover energies that are still hold that frequency of trauma and are weighing us down. This energy is coming into the solar plexus chakra. May some of our good karma be used to let go, release anybody and everybody who is no longer part of our divine plan. And all the experiences. Keep the lessons, let go of pain, suffering. Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete, destroy, uncreate. This energy is coming into your navel, everywhere there's anger, resentment from all the times when you, as the soul, came down here and got reborn in a female body, and you had a bad awakening when you realized, oh my God, this is how the world truly is down here, and you did not sign up for this. Everywhere there's anger, resentment, frustration, betrayal, everywhere you feel you didn't get the right information before you came here, delete, destroy, uncreate, delete, destroy, uncreate, times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. What would it take? What would it take? What would it take for you to give up all the anger, frustration, resentment, feeling of betrayal, feeling like you were misled, you never signed up for this? What would it take? Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete, destroy, uncreate. Times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. This energy is coming into your reproductive organs, your pelvis, your sex chakra, your legs, your knees, calves, soles of your feet. And may some of your good karma be used to neutralize all this energy of feeling stuck, old, stale energy. Everywhere you feel like every time you end up in a woman's body is the same shit every time. Everywhere you feel like somehow you get always the shorter side of the stick when you come here as a woman. Delete this story anchor times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. This energy is going all the way down, down, down to the center of Mother Earth. Tap into the love and light at the center of Mother Earth. Feel the love and light at the center of Mother Earth. What would it take for you to feel absolutely supported, absolutely in vibration with Mother Earth? What would it take for you to allow Mother Earth to love you and create a field that is to love you unconditionally? The way you always wished your family, women in your life when you were growing up would have loved you, or your mother would have loved you, key women in your life would have loved you. Everywhere you felt you weren't loved properly by women in your life, everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, delete, destroy, uncreate. What would it take for you to allow Mother Earth, creator of all that is, the source, to love you unconditionally, the way you would have always loved to be loved by people around you? The energy from the center of Mother Earth is beginning to come up through the crust of the earth, through your feet, your body, coming into your heart, filling up your heart with love and light. A sphere of love and light is beginning to form itself. It's beginning to expand. It's becoming as big as your house, as big as your town, as big as this planet, and even bigger. Some of you with karma abuse, just create a this to ask Mother Earth to initiate you in I was gonna say to initiate you into womanhood, and then I was hearing, is an initiation even necessary? So that's why I couldn't say it. So okay, let's roll with it. Is an initiation even necessary? Because there is no break. It's not like today you're a child, tomorrow you're a woman. It's a transition, it's a gradual evolution, which is just nature. There is actually no need for rituals, it's just nature. Why not just allow nature to run its course? Like now, we don't have initiations anymore, right? You just go, you evolve, and some children, women, girls evolve faster, others later. So there is an initiation even necessary. Some of our karma abuse just can our past, present, future for all the moments of time when we were programmed into believing that an initiation was necessary. Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete this, star and create me. Some of our karma abuse just create all of this to run pre-programmed soul energy through our subconscious, instructing subconscious to work on our DNA, family tree, past lives, energetic makeup, cellular memory, neutralizing any need to have any initiations, and release any obligation, any pressure to be initiated into anything. What would it take? What would it take for us to ask Creator of all of this? To guide us in fully stepping into womanhood. As I mentioned before, I met women, I worked with women that are 60, 70 years old. And energetically, I felt they were still stuck in certain traumas when they were 6, when they were 12. So energetically, they have not unfolded into being women. And by the way, it's the same for men. We also see many men, and they are maybe in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, but just their behavior gives them away. They just gives them away immediately that they have not fully ripened with their age. So what would it take for us to ask Creator of all that is? To unfold us energetically into the right energetic frequency, right vibration, right understanding, right mindset, according to the divine plan for our lives, and everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, delete, distort, and create. Times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. So my file with karma abuse to scan our past, present, future. For that version where we were most comfortable, most evolved and adapted in our gender role. And with some of our good karma abuse to match that frequency. With some of our good karma abuse to receive, allow our energetic field to be infused with the mindset, with the information, with the frequency, with the energy of that ideal version of womanhood that matches the divine intended blueprint. Because we don't know what kind of blueprint, divine intended blueprint, is there going to be for women in 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now. Women were very different 1,000 years ago. So we're going to ask, what's the divine blueprint now for women? So some of our karma abuse just create a volatility to infuse our energetic field with that divine blueprint for womanhood, for motherhood. Women as lovers, women as friends, girlfriends, businesswomen. What kind of frequency, what kind of vibration, what kind of energy would we need to bring into our energetic field to match that divine blueprint for the woman of our time. Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete, destroy, and create. Focus on your forehead chakra. What kind of vision, what is the ideal blueprint? What kind of vision do you have for yourself as a woman? Can you think of a woman in your life, or somebody you know, might be a celebrity, some personality where you think she is the type of woman I always wished. She has all the qualities of a woman that I wished I had. So what would it take? What would it take? What would it take for you to tune in into that frequency of the frequency of that person, that woman? And what would it take for you to raise your vibration to match that frequency, your version of that frequency? What kind of energy, what kind of frequency, what kind of vibration would you need to bring in? To lift your energetic standards for the kind of woman you want to be. Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete, destroy, and create. And what would you need to give up to become that type of woman? What would you need to give up? Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete, destroy, and create. Scan your energetic field head to toe. May some of you with karma abuse to ask creative all that is to show you in your energetic field, in your energetic makeup, all the wounds from the rites of passage, from all the initiations that you had gone through, that have scarred you, that have harmed you. Only as much as you can handle right now, and may some of you with karma abuse just create a fall that is to run pre-programmed soul energy through your subconscious, instructing your subconscious to get the buy-in from all your parts, from all the stakeholders in your consciousness, inner child, all the different bodies, all the fragments of you, whatever fragments of you, parts of you that are resisting the healing. With some of your karma abuse to instruct them to communicate with your subconscious, with you, the soul, to explain to those parts of you the benefits of shifting this. And may some of you with karma abuse to instruct the subconscious to do a healing on all those parts, integrating them, making them whole again. Everywhere you were defragmented, when you were disassociated from your body, you the soul, so the soul can check out, leave the body, defragment, end up in the astral plane because life in the physical plane is too horrible. So everywhere you went through violence, or like these girls that get locked up in a dark place for 3 months alone. I could imagine that they must be super bored, have nothing to do, no light, can't read, no mobile phone. I can imagine that these girls must be traumatized or bored to death and might be daydreaming, disassociating themselves from life on physical plane. So what would it take? What would it take for your subconscious to heal those wounds? Often also it happened in the past that the woman married, she was sent away and she never saw her family again. And I mean, good thing if there were women, but often there were still children, right? Girls got married in the past 15, 16 years old. Think about yourself when you were 15, 16. How emotionally, mentally, spiritually evolved were you? I think for me it was the time when I was just stopping to play with Barbies. No, I'm exaggerating. I stopped playing with Barbies maybe when I was 14. What would it take? What would it take? Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this. And with some of you with karma abuse, just create a folder this to hold the vision before your inner eye of the ideal blueprint that is available for you in this life, for your version of womanhood. See in your inner eye, how does she look like to you? Like in my case, and this is also what I saw in ayahuasca, is I just see this young woman dressed in white. It's not a wedding dress, it's just this beautiful kind of like Victorian white dress type of thing, but just white dress. And I don't usually wear white ever. I'm colorful girl, woman. Anyways, and so see in your inner eye whichever way that version of you shows up for you. And I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes, but I would like you to ask, what do you need from me? Ask her, what do you need from me? And what would it take for me to become you? What would it take for me to close the gap? And invite that ideal blueprint to bring about experiences, to bring insights, to bring books, information, guidance into your life that would help you to step into that version of you quicker, faster, sooner. So take your time for your conversation with that ideal blueprint, divinely intended blueprint available to you in this lifetime. My experience is that we are kind of like going through this process of merging. I feel like she's coming into my heart and just we are becoming one. So what would it take for you to become one with that divinely intended available blueprint for you? What would it take for you to open your heart and receive, 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 receive? And I'm hearing this version of you has gifts, skills, information available to you. Inner gifts, intuition, flow with things, femininity, female energies. With some of our good karma abuse to instruct creative volunteers as the souls to run pre-programmed soul energy that would facilitate this merging process, removing all the barriers, interferences, resistances in us that are slowing down or preventing this merging process. We are one, we are one, we are one. Some of our karma abuse, just create a folder that is to keep on running pre-programmed soul energy for as long as it's needed to facilitate this integration, to facilitate our merging, and becoming one. Removing all the sense of separation, any sense of her and me. There is just one of us. If that blueprint, that version of you had a voice, had a story, what would she tell you? Receive this information, have this information, know this information. If this version of you had a voice, had a story, what would she tell you? If creative, all that is, had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? If Mother Earth had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? Receive this information, have this information, know this information. Integrate this information. And may some of your good karma be used to ask creative all that is to guide you in your journey, to guide you toward opportunities where you can let this version, your unique version of womanhood shine. What would it take for all your inner gifts, your intuitions, everything that's available to you, the divine blueprint available and intended for your life, this life, the divine blueprint for your inner gifts, information, allowing it to unfold, facilitating your life, everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete, destroy, and create. Times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. Times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. May some of you with karma be used to also ask creative all that is to bring about opportunities, right experiences for you to truly, truly experience the amazing fact of how fortunate we are to experience us as a soul in a female body. And by the way, the same can be said for man. Both genders are perfect. It's just as right now we are having a female experience. So what would it take for us to ask for an experience, illumination, expansion of consciousness, enlightenment around our female body experience? Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete, destroy, and create. May some of our karma be used, just creative, all that is, to bless us with experiences that would allow us to truly, experientially know that we are so miraculous and so fortunate to have a female life experience in this lifetime. Everything that's standing on the way, everything that's interfering, everything that's not allowing this, delete, destroy, and create. Put your awareness at the center of Mother Earth, ground yourself 5 feet down, 5 feet out, and whenever you're ready, you may open your eyes and be fully awake and alert. For those of you who would like to join next week's session, it's going to be all about raising your standards. So stop saving the bad boy and attract a spiritual giant. Most of us, we constantly date people that are lifetimes behind us in spiritual development. And often we think we need to heal them, clear them, help them, be the ones saving them somehow. So what would it take for you to attract somebody in your life as a romantic partner who is steps ahead of you, who is more spiritually evolved than you? I dated a person like that for 5 years, and it made a big difference. And I improved, I changed tremendously as a human being. I was stretched and invited to really up level, get to his level. So what would it take for you to attract somebody who is more advanced than you? And what would it take for you to raise your standards when it comes to the men you date? Okay. If this is something that interests you, join us same time next week. And tomorrow it's going to be all about writing and publishing your bestseller book. So if you think, if you're already writing a book, or you think there is a book in you and you would like to write a book, so it's going to be all about basically working on the future and bringing about the right conditions for your book to take off, for you to really attract the right people, the right editors, the right publishers, the right miracles that really would help your book to succeed. Okay, that's tomorrow, same time as today. And on Thursday, the money call is going to be all about money, health, relationships, how to have it all. This is something that I also thought for many, many years, that if I have more money, then my health has to break down, or my relationship have to become horrible. I can't have it all. So if you see it like a stool with 3 legs, like a chair. So if if you want to really sit and have a stable foundation, then all 3 have to work well. But if you believe that you just can't have it all, then of course something needs to give in for you to have the other. And that's why often we don't have money, because we're just afraid, okay, I have an amazing health, but what if an accident will happen if I start having more money? This is something that I totally believed. Okay, so join us next week. I hope this was a good session. I definitely had a few insights today. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, and I'll see you again next week or tomorrow. Bye-bye.